revenge, somebody might win it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, A-floor.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Set. 19. Check. Walk 54. I got one. Rush in.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
Well, now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Throwing his Cousins. Smith catches left side. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Texans scoop it. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Texans 7, Vikings nothing.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
At the 27-yard line.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Cousins the thrower. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. They go play action here on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Watson finding his target. It's Cody Latimer. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins once again the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
54 Mike. Ready?
From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past it.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3-and-out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And 3-and-out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Cousins is going to find his running back. It's complete. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After the interception, here's Watson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 21-0 our score after 1. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Steps away to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
951. Hey, exit. He's coming. We got double up. Yellow.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 42.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now a leaping catch. He's got it. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
It's a gain of 15 yards and leads to...
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. Now the ball comes loose, and the Texans scoop it. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. Caught left side, Hopkins. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. That's complete. Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. The linebacker C.J. Mosley there in coverage. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. With it is Brown. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Third and long. It's Watson going deep for Hopkins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Cousins now. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And that's caught by Smith. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So we've come to halftime after a very... All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
At the 22-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw it. Going deep for Diggs. He's got a man, complete. That one good for 37 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Play action now. Cousins. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 15 yards on the play. First down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Flush to his right. Flushed out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That one a first down pickup of 8. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game.
Steamer. Can you get the ball right here? Let's go. 51's the mic, boys. 51. Hey, wahoo. What's that?
Now Cousins to the goal line, but it's incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that up? And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A first down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Cousins. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. On 1st and 10, Cousins. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Watson now to throw. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
This will be fielded at the 17. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a throw right sideline is complete. And when we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. First down. Here's Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
12 yards there and a first down. Here's Madison running on first down. And he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 30. Past the 20. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching him.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more.
Texans 38, Vikings 3.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of one there.
Let's get it.
On third down, Cousins. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Brown. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd and 2, Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. On 1st down, Foreman. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Cousins throw complete to Thielen. 20! And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Joseph now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now it's Watson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing now, Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. The 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play. and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first win of the season here in Week 4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they too will leave here at 1-3. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.